How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to be taking at the last set of Premier League games this weekend and the implications at the top and the bottom of the table. And the last piece of news involves Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, because he said it's their responsibility to not go easy in their final game against Watford.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So before we get into today's show, we've got another video from the guys at 888 Sport, and this one will certainly cause a few debates, just like all the other ones have. I've got my thoughts on it, which I'll give in a moment. So until then, watch this clip and then let me know what you think.
The player of the season is Jordan Henderson.
No.
The player of the season is Jordan Henderson.
The second best player in world football is Kevin De Bruyne.
The player of the season is Jordan
I know
Henderson.
why you're saying that, because obviously of what Liverpool have gone on to achieve. But my problem with Henderson is, I say a problem, it's for Liverpool, they've got a very functioning midfield. If you look at their individuals on paper, there's a lot of other midfielders that are better than them. But as a cohesive unit for Klopp, you'll do well to get into that team and work how he wants it to. And he's been the captain of that, and they've won the league. So I can see the positioning, but I don't like Man City, obviously. De Bruyne.
So, who is the player of the year? Should it be Jordan Henderson? Don't get me wrong, he's had a fantastic season at Liverpool. Champions, captain. But has he had a better season than Kevin De Bruyne? Individually, remember that. This is individual, not team. Nah. I don't even think he's the best player at Liverpool. I think Sadio Mane should be ahead of him. That's my thoughts. I know a lot of Liverpool fans will say, yeah, he deserves to win it and everything else. And it's a great story and all the rest of it. You know, he was going to leave Liverpool at one point in a possible swap deal, I think it was, with Fulham and Clint Dempsey. But he knuckled down and said, no, I'm going to fight for my place in the team. Took over the armband from Gerrard, and the rest is history. He done something that Steven Gerrard couldn't do, which is win the Premier League. But not better than De Bruyne. Not had a better season than De Bruyne individually. Not had a better season for me than Sadio Mane. It's one of those, man. It's where you sit on the side of the fence. So you're going to have to let me know. The link to the full video is in the description. Go over there. Go into the comment section. Say that I sent you. And let me know what you think. Does he deserve it? Or do you think that Sadio Mane or Kevin De Bruyne, you know, they deserve it? It's an interesting debate, that's for sure. But like I said, links will be in the description. Go over there, get yourself involved. Opinions are a wonderful thing. So listen, let's go and get into today's show. Starting off with all the Premier League games this weekend. And it's that one part of the season where everybody plays and everybody kicks off at the same time. It's the final game of the season. Now, you think where we were just over a month ago in lockdown, didn't look like the season was going to be completed, but they've managed to complete it, and it's gone pretty well, to be fair. And there's going to be some serious implications to the league with results this weekend. There's still so much to play for. Liverpool, of course, are champions. Manchester City, they're already in the Champions League qualification for next season. But first of all, relegation. Who will join Norwich City back in the Championship? Aston Villa are in the driving seat at the moment. And then there's Watford and there's Bournemouth. Now, the situation is very simple. Villa are 17th with 34 points and a goal difference of minus 26. Watford are 18th, also with 34 points with a goal difference of minus 27. Bournemouth are 19th with 31 points and a goal difference of minus 27. That's absolutely mad. You're looking at that and you're thinking, we could have a situation where Bournemouth win, Watford and Aston Villa lose, and then it will be all three teams on 34 points and goal difference will relegate you. Wow, how must that be for a team to be relegated on goal difference if that's how it happens. Aston Villa have to go to West Ham, Watford have to go to Arsenal, and Bournemouth have to go to Everton. Whew, it's going to be tough, and I wouldn't want to call that one, that's for sure. The race for the Champions League places, it's down to 3 teams: Leicester, Chelsea, Manchester United. And the big twist in this one is that Leicester and Manchester United play each other. A win for Leicester, they are in the Champions League. A defeat for Manchester United doesn't actually mean they won't be in the Champions League, because Chelsea, if they lose, Manchester United can lose and stay in the Champions League. If Chelsea pick up a point against Wolves and Manchester United lose, then they're not in Europe, in Champions League anyway. So many twists and turns. I can't remember it ever being this tight at the top and the bottom areas. Liverpool have walked away with the Premier League, like I said, but this is where it's really interesting. And, you know, it's going to be so many twists and turns on that final day, and I wouldn't want to call this one. A bit like, you know, the relegation. You don't know which way it's going to go. And I think that during the course of the afternoon, it could be a bit like this. So, very interesting. Now, more European qualification. And it's the Europa League. And 6th and 7th place. And that goes down to between Wolves and Spurs. And the reason why this is important is because if you finish 6th, then you are guaranteed a place in next year's Europa League. If you finish 7th, then you are only guaranteed a Europa League spot if Arsenal lose the FA Cup final. If Arsenal do win the FA Cup, then that 7th spot in the Europa League goes to Arsenal instead. So you imagine Spurs finish 7th and they're in European football, and then Arsenal win the FA Cup and take not just a trophy, but their European place away from them. I like the sound of that. Wolves, they're playing Chelsea. It's going to be a tough game for them, especially with Chelsea going to have to go full strength to get that Champions League place. Spurs, they're playing Crystal Palace away. So again, very, very interesting. Who knows what way this one's going to go. The Golden Boot, it's effectively between 3 players, I would say. Jamie Vardy, Danny Ings, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Jamie Vardy's on 23 goals. Danny Ings is on 21. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's on 20. Aubameyang could easily score a hat-trick against Watford, but then you have to hope that Jamie Vardy doesn't score, and neither does Danny Ings. But it's going to be another one where you can't really call it, because despite Aubameyang needing 3 to level with Jamie Vardy, they're playing Watford at the Emirates, so he could do it. Danny Ings, he could do it. He's had a fantastic season. Jamie Vardy, he's going to want to score goals to try and fire Leicester into the Champions League. So it's going to be so interesting. And like I said, there's not been many ends to a season with so many things, you know, riding on those final games. Another record that is up for grabs, and it's a long-standing assist record currently held by Thierry Henry from the 2002-2003 season, and he had 20 assists. Kevin De Bruyne is currently on 19, level with Mesut Ozil from the 2015-16 season. So he needs 1 more assist in Manchester City's final game to equal that record, and 2 to beat it. Quality player. Unbelievable. You're looking at some of the players that he's already beaten. Cesc Fabregas, Frank Lampard. The most they had in a season was 18. And it's a long-standing record. That's been there nearly 20 years. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, what Kevin De Bruyne does. You're looking at the Golden Glove as well. Nick Pope at Burnley is currently on 15. And Edison at Manchester City also on 15. Absolutely fantastic from Nick Pope and Burnley. Clean sheets, 15. That's fantastic. Unbelievable. And you've got to think, Alisson at Liverpool's not even in the running. Mad. Liverpool as well. They didn't get to win the record, but they can equal it. They didn't finish unbeaten. They didn't win every home game. They didn't get to Manchester City's 100-point record. However, it's not all tears, as they say at Anfield. They can still claim the biggest winning margin between first and second, which previously stood at 19 points, Manchester City to Manchester United in 2017-18. If they win and Manchester City lose at home to relegated Norwich. Oh, I don't know why I bothered saying that, because Manchester City are not going to lose at home to Norwich. Kevin De Bruyne is going to go and get them 2 assists, isn't he? So yeah, that's an interesting one as well. And so much is going to be going down on that final games. Now, give you a quick run through of them final games of the season. Arsenal against Watford, Burnley against Brighton, Chelsea against Wolves, Crystal Palace against Tottenham, Everton against Bournemouth, Leicester versus Manchester United, Manchester City versus Norwich, Newcastle versus Liverpool, Southampton versus Sheffield United, and West Ham against Aston Villa. All of those are 4 p.m. kickoff, and I'm really excited to see what happens. Definitely. Next piece of news involves Arsenal. Mikel Arteta has been speaking about the game against Watford this weekend. And he says that Arsenal have a responsibility to not go easy on their training ground neighbours Watford just because they have a season-defining FA Cup final approaching. Watford head to the Emirates Stadium on Sunday knowing defeat could condemn them to relegation to the Championship, with Aston Villa surviving at their expense. Arteta is preparing for his Clubs Cup final against Chelsea, which presents their ticket into Europe, but he feels that they have to be fair to the other sides. We need to know the responsibility we have towards other clubs, the responsibility we have in any game. Mentally, if you're not ready or if your level of implication is not 100%, then you have a problem. On whether a good performance against Watford could win a place in his cup final, Arteta said, absolutely. They try and do that in training anyway, but I want to see the players who are in the best condition and with the best mindset ahead of that final day against Chelsea. So, pretty straightforward stuff. I do think that Mikel Arteta is going to make a lot of changes for this game, because you can't risk the likes of Aubameyang. I'm sorry, you cannot risk players like him, because we need him against Chelsea. Same with Granit Xhaka and players like that. Take them out of the side. The likes of Kieran Tierney. No. And yeah, you know what? Whatever side we put out, it's an experienced side. We've got a squad for a reason. And if we want to use that squad, then we should use that squad. And I think what Mikel Arteta is saying, that, you know, we're not going to make 11 changes, but there will be some changes. But we will give it our all and we will try and win the game. And it's not about, you know, giving Watford an advantage and others no advantage. Do you know what I mean? So it's interesting, and that'll be one team lineup that I don't think anyone will be able to predict, because who knows what he's going to go with. But at the same time, we've got to be careful, because we lose, it could have a knock-on effect going into the final. So the balance has got to be right. So yeah, there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. No DT's Daily over the course of the weekend. Back on Monday. And you can watch me on AFTV, of course, for the watch along against Watford. There'll be a preview to the game, player ratings, everything else. And then we start to prepare for the cup final. And I cannot wait. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.